Hey guys, Coach Kimmy here. So today I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I'm going to do the second part of Victoria Beckham's hair. So basically, you know, this is just when she has both of them down, and I should have probably left this a little longer. But what I realized too is she's never even. She doesn't ever have hers perfectly even, like once in a while. So that's the longer version of hers. But when she cuts it shorter, she really does it where this whole side is off. Just so you know, and then this is just a tiny bit longer, but it's much shorter here. So I'm gonna teach you how to make this shorter and how to cut this side off. So these are awesome, and I made a much better diagram because I finally found them. Okay, so this is the way the haircut's gonna go. A blueprint. You need a blueprint to really get and understand the haircut, and it's so much easier when you just think of, okay, how am I going to take the sections? What is it going to look like? You'll never get lost or confused about doing a haircut when you have patterns and blueprints. Just like when you build a house. If you just build a house without putting a blueprint together, a lot of times you could put the cabinets on wrong when you're doing like a kitchen and when you're doing different things, and then you see after you're like, oh man. And it's funny because you know people that didn't put plans together because it's not organized. So you need a blueprint to stay organized in your haircut so you don't get lost, so you can check it, so you always know it's even. Super important. But look what I found, and I'm super excited that I found these and I wanted to share them with you guys. So this is your blueprint, just so you know. Okay, and all those little orange dots are me when I texturize and I tap, tap, tap with my scissor. I call it notching. All right, so that's there, and then it's like a little, this is tapered back here. That was the back of the Victoria Beckham's, the first haircut, and the second one is gonna be the same. I'm just gonna go a little shorter. So that's that. All right, now these are awesome. Okay, I wanna show you who they're from. So that's who you can order them from if you like them. But I love them because you can make blueprints from them. Here, look at how cool is this? It's her face. So you can be able to put the front, how you want to do highlights, or if you want to do a haircut. It's awesome. And then you got the side profile for both sides. Awesome, awesome. So that is the company that sells them. I highly recommend them because you need to start making blueprints. So you become an expert cutter, whether you're cutting hair at home or you're doing hair for your friends, or you're a salon stylist or artist and you want to learn how to be an expert cutter, because that's the goal. I love cutting hair. It's so much fun, and it's like, I'm a freestyle hair cutter. I want to explain that too. Vidal Sassoon is a very symmetric, I want to say it's very geometry hair cutting. So cool, so amazing, but it's definitely different. So I love taking the techniques from Vidal Sassoon, all that intricate cutting, and make it freestyle, because I'm so a freestyle hair cutter. And there was a guy, FM, I remember his father sent him for like 7 weeks to do Vidal Sassoon, and he was older. He was in his like 60s maybe, or maybe he was in his 50s, but his father was like 75, but he sent him to go because he wanted him to understand how to do it geometry, but he was a freestyle hair cutter. So he finally got it, and he was able to marry them together. Because a lot of times when you're doing Vidal Sassoon, people that love Vidal Sassoon cutting would be people that are very, I do behavioral assessments, so they're analytical brain, they love structure and order. So not that you can't do freestyle with structure and order, you can. However, that's extremely factory cutting. Like you'll just do the same haircut over and over and over again on the same person. I mean, you know, unless it's a real artist that can play a little bit, but because the rules are so rigid, it's much harder. That's why I'm not a rigid person. I like everything very full volume, texture, playful, you know, totally. That's so me. I'm not intricate. Don't give me like straight lines and all that, because I'm not into that. So I wanted to just show you this haircut. I told you that I would, you know, help you guys see the other part of it. So now if we have to go shorter, I want to just show you, start using your imagination, start looking. Now I had this longer yesterday, but because this was a little shorter, I wanted to make them even, but I should have left that a little longer. So now, because I didn't, I'm going to go shorter here. You see how I can cut this right off? I want you to look at it. Okay, see how it kind of like is on an angle here and then it kind of comes a little straight here? It should really be like this. And this should be longer right here. So I'm gonna make it that way, but I'm gonna do it with my beautiful razor. Love this razor. It's a feather razor. And there's a couple different that I use, but this is the one that I love the most. So I'll always try other things and it'll be like number 2. But I use the most things that I love a number 1, right? I've been using this for 25 years. All right, so I'm just gonna wet it. You could also do dry cutting, just so you know. Or you could just trim it a little, but with a razor, you can't do dry cutting. A razor, you really need to do it when it's wet. And I'm gonna lift this higher. All right, so I am going on a much steeper angle. I'm gonna take it from behind and I'm just gonna start getting that off and go up higher. And I could just go straight on it. You just need to make sure you have a really great new razor, because you need it for great hair. For a razor cut, you always need a brand new razor. So it's like perfectly sharp and it doesn't give any dull edges. I also want to really thin this out a little, so I like to go in there, just cut some bulk out of there. Now that you see how, now I have to take this off right here. See that? I want you to be able to see it. Like I see it right away. Now her back came out really, really good. I love that back. I mean, the color is terrible because we were, this was an older mannequin head and we were practicing. I was teaching them highlighting patterns and fun stuff. How to do slices and what a slice, if you did a whole bunch of panels of slices, what that would look like. So that's why she's all, little train wreck of hair color. But really, Victoria Beckham's dark here, and then she's all blonde everywhere else. But we're gonna go up. Just grab that hair from underneath and just keep going up. A razor is fun and playful, and Victoria Beckham's hair is fun and playful. You are not getting rigid lines in that hair, that's for sure. Going straight up, right to the point of this back center. Yeah. Now, see how much nicer that is? Now, what else you can do, I don't really have my good thinning shears here. So, I would take this with a thinning shear and I would just really make it so much tapered and so much closer and tighter. So if you thought these are thinning shears, you'd really just make it super soft. It's called velveting. When you just take thinning shears and you just keep going into it, it's really pretty. And it looks like velvet because you're just softening everything. Or you can buzz it. That's another really nice way when it's, to make it nice and tapered and short. And she does sometimes. Her hair is definitely that way. I mean, listen, she has great hair for a long time. So she has a lot of different styles, but it's always similar, She never really goes fully long. It's always somehow into this kind of a haircut, which I call it a posh haircut, or you can call it the Victoria Beckham haircut. And we'll be cutting this whole side off, just so you know. Okay, so I just want you to see that. Now, right here too, I could even get in there more. Like, you see how I have to go up a little higher? And I want to go in there and cut some out. She really has it super piecey. There's no really like a real strong structure to her hair. She does have some structure, but it's much more loose and docile and fun, right? And she really doesn't have a bang. She kind of has just a little bit, like right here, this little triangle, and then this is a little longer, but this mannequin didn't have that. But look how much better that looks, right? That looks so much better right around there. And then you could even just look at that hairline and just make a nice straight line. So it wraps right around that hairline. Yeah, there we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And then in Victoria Beckham's hair comes off on this side. If you ever notice, she always has it kind of like tucked behind her ear, but this is much shorter. And it always looks super sexy and gorgeous. All right, so yesterday I cut it with a kitchen scissor. It looked good though. All right, here we go. Now you're just gonna do it tighter and shorter. And I wanna leave her top right here longer. I'm just gonna do this side. So I'm gonna really push this over. Now remember, I already made the blueprint and I do it like a step, like a ladder. So this would be like, I'm gonna lift this up. This will be 1 and 2, and then go 3. This part right here, that'll be number 3. So always think of a ladder when you're doing it. And I will lift this up too here. Just gotta make sure everything's even and everything blends. Well, you know, somewhat, because it is a asymmetrical kind of haircut. Now I'm gonna go real short. Now listen, she really takes this hair and pushes it back, so it really can be pretty short. So I'm gonna go about here. And I would be texturizing the sucker, and I'm gonna anyway, just to show you again how to texture. Notch, 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 notch. She has so much hair. I'd be having my thinning shears and just texturizing this mannequin head more, because hers is very textured. You know, and so remember, it's gonna go back, and I'll put like a little thing in there just so you can see it. And even if she left it down, it would still look really cute. And you're always looking, visualize it, see it. Say, all right, you know what? I have to have it more in an angle, right? Not straight, and not this way, not angled this way either. The angle is always gonna be this way for that posh haircut. All right, so that's step number 2 right here. Now I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna pull it out. And listen guys, there's a lot of ways to cut hair. It's not just one way, but this is my way. So, you know, when you see the results and you try it and you do it and you see like, oh, that looks really good, then do it that way. But you know, there's many different ways. So you find what works for you. I like to just cut that on an angle so it's nice and tapered and soft, and I'm just gonna cut into it too. Yeah, see, she kind of wears her hair like a pretty steep over, you know, like her bang kind of comes over. And then I would take this last piece after you see how far you want that bang over, and then you just kind of cut into it and make it fun and textured. It doesn't have to be so perfect. Yeah. Right now I'm going to take this out. And I'm cutting this straight up. Now look I want you to see where I have to cut it all off. It's gonna go right there. It's gonna meet right to where that point is. I got the other side straight up to that point, even though it's longer, but now I went shorter here, so I'm cutting all of this off, so it still blends and looks like a very even haircut. But it's asymmetrical, just so you know, going short to long. Okay, I'm going straight up. Now I'm also gonna, I would cut into that more too with my thinning shear, but I don't have it, so. I'm comb it down, take the next section. I was actually gonna do a brown head one too, just so you know. So I'm gonna do this again on a brown hair, just so you could see it better. I can always dye this too and teach you a color lesson. Yeah, it's gonna look so cute. And then when she pushes this back, it just kind of goes right back. Or even if she leaves it down, it's still like an asymmetrical, nice and sexy and pretty and beautiful. All right, and then I'm gonna look right here. So this side is always like angled this way, and the other side was angled this way, and then this is your middle, right there. And of course, get in there, point cut, point cut. Point cutting is so fun. And sometimes she does some pieces up here that are even like fun and funky, which I love. So have fun. Remember that. Be playful. Hair is great. Depends on who you have, but if you want that kind of clientele, you attract it to you. Okay, so I like this more asymmetrical too. Okay, so let's look at the front. Here's her shorter side going to her front. So I want this side to be shorter and fun and punky. I'm just taking that little crown. Say if there was a beach ball right on here, it'd be that top. And listen, you're doing a mannequin head. It's fun. Have fun, play. Don't be so rigid. You know, I love volume right here. That's my favorite thing, especially like my hair right here. And look how long my hair is going. I got a ponytail. Yay! I've been taking those vitamins. So listen, I'm taking new vitamins. It's called Force Factor. And I take 3 days, so I'm on my second week. But I'm super excited because I'm going to do 2 full months of them and see, because I did the Big Vita for a little bit. Now I want to see how quick and fast my hair goes from this. I love to compare and see what's the best. You know, that's what I do. That's why too, my blow dryer, my favorite blow dryer is that Baby Bliss, the best. Okay, so look at this cool haircut. Victoria Beckham haircut. Second part of it, right? This is her second haircut. When she wears a stronger, this comes over here, and sometimes she has it super layered, super full, and this is super punky and fun. You could even make it a little shorter if you wanted to. You could push this back. You could have a point here. And then this is like nice and a nice, beautiful straight line. And you could thin it out more. But I do want to show you this haircut again on brown. It looks so good just to show you different ways. But she is blonde, but it's just harder to see. And when I do a customer, I will definitely try to videotape it. And sometimes I just want a little more right here. Just a little more. So you take it right there. Make it a little more punky. Or you go in and you point cut, make peaks. And that's the goal. When you make nice peaks, that height is so much stronger right there. There we go. There we go. Love it. Oh, so pretty, so cute. The Victoria Beckham. Hold on, I wanted to share something with you too. So, 1 second. All right, you guys know I always do mindset too, right? So I'm Coach Kimmy Hair, but I also have another channel, Coach Kimmy Mindset. And I'm gonna tell you, if you don't get the mind right, life is really difficult and hard. And I've learned to master my emotions. I've learned to master my mind. I've learned to do a lot of things that I didn't know I could learn to do, but I did. So I love to share the things with you. So just a couple cute little things to say to yourself every day, because your word is your wand. And if you want to be a great stylist and you want to be creative and you want to use your imagination, you need to say those things. Your word is your wand. What you think is what you become. Your thoughts become things. Whatever you feel, you will attract. So if you're feeling low vibration and feeling angry and mad and frustrated at people, or you feel like you're always being taken advantage of, you have to learn how to have boundaries and say no. You have to learn to stop over-functioning, over-giving, and there's always a balance in everything. So just listen to some of these great things. Things that I go through are easy and everything goes in my favor. Just write it down and just say it every day. Things that I go through are easy, right? And everything goes in my favor. Now, why would you say something like that? Why not? It's that simple. Why not say that? Because there's so many bad things that run in our brain sometimes that are like making us angry or frustrated. The news makes you frustrated. People gossiping or talking and bad energy and all these negative vibes. Do you ever hear like when you see like somebody so complaining, negative, they can't see any of the good? You need to change that. And there's a great book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Vincent Norman Peale, I think his name is. That kind of stuff is just good for you to understand. You could shift negative to positive always. A negative thought and a negative emotion will always give you a negative result. A positive thought and a positive emotion will always give you a positive result. So it's important for you to stand strong in who you are, stand strong with boundaries, in love, in caring, but you need to see value in yourself to add value to yourself. That's super important too. So I always make it happen, right? No matter what goes on, it's always going to be okay. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter. Like we have to learn the circle of life. We're going to live and we're going to die. There's two things that everybody gets in this world. The day they're born and then the day that they die. But what's in between that, right? What kind of life do you want to live in between that time, right? We have to think like, do I want to be a successful hairstylist? Do I want to be a successful, incredible stay-at-home mom? Do I want to be a mom that works and a mom that, splits half of the work? That you're not doing it all by yourself, that you have a good partner, right? You're worthy of somebody to do half, right? That's why you have a partner. And when you get married, it's important that everybody takes up their slack, that you're not over functioning for somebody all the time. It's not healthy. You got to take care of you too. And even more than your children. Your children come after. I always think of the plane thing. When they bring down the oxygen mask, they tell you as parents, put it on yourself first. Don't put it on your kid because they're not strong enough or old enough to put it on themselves. If you have a little child, like you got to put it on you first so that you're healthy and well, and then you could take care of them very well. So remember, you can't give what you don't have. So you need to make sure you get it first so that you can give it. And you want to overflow. You don't want to need and suck out of other people or your children. We don't want to be codependent, right? Or think like we can't live without something or someone because we need to be filled up for ourselves so that you overflow and you're not an energy vampire, an energy dimmer on other people. So the other one is I trust myself and I trust my intuition, right? It's important. And for me, I trust God. God is my ultimate. And then I trust myself and I trust my intuition because he gave it to me. All right, it's an intellectual mental faculty that's inside. We have 6 intellectual mental faculties inside. I have it in my course. If you know that you struggle with emotional things and the things that I talked about tonight, it's a complete emotional breakthrough. It's one of the greatest courses I ever created. And it's like 55 videos of me teaching you step by step, one at a time mindset. And it's awesome. I've changed so many thousands of people's lives. So anyway, the next one, I am worthy to have all of my needs met all of the time. Do you know God is always for you and not against you? He wants to help you get your needs met, but you need to make sure that you take care of yourself. If you don't self-love and self-care, nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to earn your own self-worth and care, because otherwise we lose our own identity because we're taking care of everybody else. We're trying to live other people's lives for them and not living our own life. So it's important to live your own life first. And then the last one, I am wonderfully and marvelously made. Remember how valuable and important and special you are? My favorite thing to say is, I'm a winner. I've always been a winner and I'll always be a winner. And I'm going to say to you, you're a winner. You've always been a winner since the day you were born, and you will always be a winner till the day you go to heaven. So just remember who you are. Stand strong and true to yourself. You're enough. You've always been enough, and you'll always be enough. This is Coach Kimmy. I hope you guys enjoy this. Great haircut, and I'm going to do more. And thank you for subscribing, for all your love, all your support. I had such an incredible beautiful comment today after doing somebody's hair, and it was like so beautiful. She put it on Google, but it made me cry because it blesses me to bless you. I just want you to know, when you guys are blessed, it blesses me so much more, because I love to overflow. I have years and years of experience from so many global artists that I took the time, energy, and effort to train from, you know, so it's so good to bring it to you. And you take a decade and then you put it in a day, and it's easy right in your own home. So anyway, I am so thankful for you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless you all. So just for pretend, I put my hair back to make it look like the Victoria Beckham. Maybe she's just a little longer here, but she's definitely had this kind of haircut before. And it's always a little spikier here. And if you guys don't know how to do this part here, shorter and spikier, you could go to my video on TikTok that has 6.9 million people that viewed it, and it's pinned at the top, and it shows you how to do a diamond shape for the back of your hair. But it's cute just to do a little pretend, but my hair is really longer. I just kind of put it up to like pretend. It's always nice to pretend. Try it yourself, see what it looks like.